Namaste, Namaskar, Vanakkam, Jai Hind. This is Shihan Hussaini, you can call me Who, Director of Who Archery Mission. Welcome to the state level Archery Judges Workshop. This includes training, examination and certification as an archery judge in the state level. You are in the second lesson, the second lecture in the Archery Judges Training Series. In the first session, I gave you an introduction of what qualities an archery judge must have and gave an outline of the contents of the 6 rule books by World Archery, which contains all information for archery judges. From this session onwards, we will start explaining to you about Book 2, which deals with events and everything you ought to know about how to organize them, and Book 3, which deals with everything you ought to know about target archery. The lectures will deal verbatim what World Archery expects an archery judge to know. In this session, we will deal with 9 clauses on organizing World Championships. 1. What are World Championships? The World Championship that World Archery organizes. 2. Who organizes Continental Championships? 3. On what dates are the various championships organized by World Archery and when are they conducted? 4. How are championships allocated to a country by World Archery and on what terms? Number 5. What are the management structures of the various committees that organize a World Championship? Number 6, how are invitations given to member associations? Number 7, what is the process of making entries to the championships organized by World Archery? Number 8, how are accreditations issued to archers and officials? And number 9, what documents must an organizer provide? First, let's know what are the championships that World Archery organizes. World Archery arranges for the organization of the following championships. World Archery Championships, recurve and compound divisions. World Field Archery Championships, optional for juniors and team event. Barebow, recurve and compound divisions. Next, World Archery Youth Championships, juniors and cadets. Recurve and compound divisions. World Archery Para Championships, recurve and compound divisions. And then World Archery 3D Championships, optional for team event. Barebow, instinctive bow, long bow and compound divisions. Next, target, indoor and field archery for masters. Barebow for field only. Recurve and compound divisions if possible together with other masters events and for the divisions as defined in their respective chapters. World Archery Flight Championships, then World Archery Ski Championships, then World Archery Run Championships. Despite the above provision, a World Championship does not have to be awarded if the executive board determines it is not appropriate. Only World Archery may approve any virtual, online or e-gaming World Championship. Now let's see who organizes Continental Championships. Continental associations arrange for the organization of the Continental Championships. The various Continental associations under World Archery are World Archery Asia, World Archery America, World Archery Europe, World Archery Africa, and World Archery Oceania. Now let's go to clause 3 and learn on what dates World Archery holds its championships. World Archery Championships can be held every 2 years as follows. World Archery in odd years. World Archery Field in even years. World Archery Youth in odd years. World Archery Flight in even years. World Archery Run in even years, World Archery 3D in odd years, World Para Archery in odd years, and World Archery Masters in even years. But World Archery Ski is held every year. Or let's say the following 5 championships are held by World Archery in even years. Number 1, World Archery Field. Number 2, World Archery Indoor. Number 3, World Archery Flight. Number 4, World Archery Run. And number 5, World Archery Masters. And on odd years, World Archery organizes the following championships. 1, World Archery Championships. 2, World Archery 3D Championships. 3, World Archery Para Championships. And number 4, World Archery Youth Championships. The only championship that World Archery organizes every year is the World Archery Ski Championships. Now let's see how are championships allocated to a country by World Archery. Clause 4 deals with this. Allocation of championships. Any organization willing to host a world championship according to World Archery requirements can submit a bid to the Secretary General of World Archery through the member association of the country in which the championship shall take place. The bid shall be submitted in writing and shall include the dates, the venue, and assurance that as far as can be reasonably foreseen, no difficulty shall arise for athletes and officials from any eligible member association on grounds of nationality, race, religion, or politics, and for the free passage through customs of equipment or trophies. Abiding contracts signed by all parties and approved by the executive board. A guarantee that they shall provide all facilities and comply with all specifications of the respective organizing manual in effect at the time of signing the bid contract. A written statement accepting the World Archery Constitution and rules including the Code of Ethics and Conduct. Any other information required by World Archery. The selection of the host country shall be made by the executive board from the eligible bids and following a thorough investigation. If a member association has been entrusted with the organization of a championship and is unable to hold it or to uphold the commitment under Article 3.4.2, the Secretary General and all member associations shall be informed immediately. The host member association shall be liable for all actual and reasonable expenses directly linked to the failure to host the championship or to uphold the commitment of Article 3.4.2. The possible allocation of such a championship shall be decided by the executive board. If a member association wishes to change the location of a championship, it may only do so in exceptional circumstances and with the prior approval of the coordination committee. If the coordination committee refuses to approve the change of location, the member association shall continue with the original location, or World Archery shall remove the championship. In this case, the member association shall be liable for all expenses resulting from the change of country or the cancellation of the championship. Congress may establish a maximum limit or the entry fee to world championships. Well, now let's see what are the management structure of the various committees that organize a championship. Management structures. The championship is managed by the following committees: the Coordination Committee and the Organizing Committee. The Coordination Committee is made up of the World Archery President or his representative who shall be the chairperson, whose primary function is to protect World Archery's interests in general. The technical delegate, whose function is to ensure the technical aspects of the championship are correct. The president of the host member association or his representative, the president of the organizing committee, the secretary general or his representative whose function is to protect World Archery's interests in terms of marketing, television and media, and gather information for future championships. The World Championship is managed by the Coordination Committee, which is responsible for the supervision and smooth running of the event, the implementation of the laws and bylaws, settling any dispute, complaint or protest which does not concern any other committee or the jury of appeal, taking emergency action to ensure the smooth running of the championship and protect World Archery's reputation, deciding any other matters not covered in the Constitution and rules, supervising the organization of the ceremonies. A technical delegate shall be appointed by World Archery to oversee the technical aspects of championships. The responsibilities of the technical delegate shall be to maintain close cooperation with the chairperson of the Coordination Committee and with the representative of the Organizing Committee. Serve as liaison person between the chairperson of the Tournament Judge Commission, the Director of Shooting, and the Coordination Committee or the Organizing Committee. Advise the organizers on the rules and their implementation. Inspect the sports facilities and the venue equipment to be used during the competition. Check that all preparations are in accordance with the rules and the organizers' manual. Report to the executive board on the progress of the preparation of the championship. Supervise and attend the draw. Organize and chair the team managers meeting. Ensure that the rules are observed. Advise the coordination committee on necessary changes to protect the best interests of World Archery and the quality of the championship. The organizing committee is responsible for the organization of the championship and shall implement the decisions of the coordination committee. The organizers shall communicate to World Archery 60 days before the championship the number of press accreditation cards they intend to use. The organizing committee shall submit to every Congress between the date of allocation and that of the championship a report on the progress made in the preparations. Now again, the organizing committee is totally responsible for making financial arrangements for the championship allocated to them in deciding the amount of entry fees within the limits set by Congress and bearing the cost of anti-doping control. World Archery shall arrange, in agreement with the organizing committee, food, lodging and necessary transportation for the judges, the cost of which will be borne by the organizers. The Secretary General shall notify all member associations which have entered participants when a championship event shall not be held for a category. Member associations that have entered participants shall be notified of the change no later than 40 days before the first day of shooting. A results verifier shall be appointed by World Archery to assess the organizing committee and the technical delegate to ensure the validity of target assignments and scoring and verify results and the publication of the result lists. Well, now let's see how are invitations given to the member associations. Invitations. Invitations shall be distributed to member associations eligible to compete, honorary officers, the executive board and the respective permanent committee. At least 6 months before the first day of competition, the organizers shall issue invitations to member associations eligible to compete. Now, detailed information on the entry fees, preliminary entry forms requesting the numbers of expected participants and officials for each event, final entry forms requesting names of participants entered for each event and of officials, information on accommodation booking arrangements, meals, costs, etc. At least 3 months before the first day of competition, the organizers shall send to eligible member associations confirmations that the championship shall be held as announced. Well, now let's see what is the process of making entries to the championships organized by World Archery. Entries. All member associations in good standing may enter athletes. Member associations wishing to enter athletes in a championship shall register as follows. Submit preliminary entries, which is mandatory, not later than 90 days before the first day of competition. Submit final entries not later than 20 days before the first day of competition. Member associations which send final entries that are more than 4 for youth athletes different from the numbers indicated in the preliminary entry shall pay fine established by the executive board. Teams that enter after the 20-day deadline or make changes after this deadline shall pay a penalty of 150 CHF per change or athlete registered. Under no circumstances shall World Archery accept any entries after the team managers meeting or the official practice, whichever comes first. Entries submitted after the specified closing date may be refused by the organizers or World Archery. However, if the cause of the delay is due to circumstances beyond the control of the member association concerned, the organizers and World Archery may accept that entry. World Archery reserves the right to refuse any entry after the 20-day deadline if such an entry would cause a change in the program or cause any organizational problems. Such decision shall be taken by the Secretary General after consultation with the organizing committee. Member associations shall pay in full the invoice issued by the organizing committee before the official practice. In case of failure to pay before the official practice, entries by the organizer or World Archery in consultation with the organizer, and in such case, the member association shall be temporarily suspended until the amount is paid in full. The submission of entry forms implies a declaration that the member association is in good standing, that all athletes and officials' expenses shall be covered by the respective member association in case of illness or accident. All athletes and officials shall have signed the anti-doping agreement. If this is not the case, athletes from that member association shall not be eligible to compete in the championship. The number of athletes that may be entered by a member association is limited. At World Championships, a member association may enter no more than 3 athletes in each category. A mixed team comprises of 1 female and 1 male athlete of the same category. The number of officials that may be entered by a member association is limited at World Championships or World Ranking events. The number of officials will be limited to 50% of the number of athletes registered rounded up. A World Championship shall not be held for any category for which preliminary entries reflect fewer than 12 individuals and 6 teams. For the youth and para archery categories, the minimum numbers shall be 8 individuals and 4 teams. If fewer athletes teams are entered than the number required for each match played round, byes shall be permitted. A match with a bye is a match that does not take place because not enough athletes are entered for a round to provide opponents for each match of that round. The athlete team with a bye qualifies for the following round. Organisers shall ask for the date of birth of each athlete of a youth class and formal proof has to be provided. Now, let's see how accreditations are issued to archers and officials. Accreditation. The organizers shall issue appropriate accreditation to each participant and official in accordance with World Archery Accreditation guidelines. The proof of accreditation shall be carried at all times on the competition area and shall be shown on request of appropriate officials. Only holders of appropriate accreditation shall be allowed into the relevant parts of the competition area. And finally, let's see what documents must an organizer provide. Championship documents. The organizers are responsible for providing the following documents. A program for the championship indicating dates, times and venues of all competitions, ceremonies, occasions and services of interest to athletes and officials before and during the competition. This program shall have been approved by the Coordination Committee. A list of the target assignments and intermediary and final results at the venue. The final detailed results list shall be distributed by World Archery after the event. Well, so much for this session. Now let's try to revise whatever I said in this lecture. We saw the following 9 sections. 1. What are the championships that World Archery organizes? 2. Who organizes Continental championships? 3. On what dates are the various championships organized by World Archery conducted? Number 4. How are championships allocated to a country by World Archery and on what terms? 5. What are the management structures of the various committees that organize a championship? Number 6. How are invitations given to the member associations? Number 7. What is the process of making entries to the championships organized by World Archery? Number 8. How are accreditations issued to archers and officials? And number 9. What documents must an organizer provide? It's very important for a judge candidate like you to know the answers to the 9 questions. I will suggest to all of you to plug your headphones and listen to this second lecture in the Archery Judges Training Series many times for the details to sink into your head and heart. Till I catch you in the 3rd session, this is Shihan Hussaini wishing you a happy learning and a bye-bye. Jai Hind.